Hello everybody, so today we're learning all about worms. This one's called Wiggling Worms at Work. Maybe some of you enjoyed making the Wiggling Worm game and played that with some of your family members. Hope so, it's lots of fun. So today let's have a look at this book. It's quite a long book. It's not really a storybook, it's an information book. It tells us lots of cool stuff about the special jobs that worms do. I'm not going to read it all for you. Let's just have a scan through and take a look at some of the important stuff. Ooh, lots of wiggly worms. Yeah, who's ever been brave enough to pick up a worm? Maybe on a rainy day. I know we used to see lots on a rainy day at school. Who was ever brave enough to feel one or place it carefully in their hands? Yeah, how did it feel? Was it hard? Was it soft? Was it wiggly? These worms are very wiggly. Look at the shape of these worms. Let's see. Down in the ground under your feet, thousands of worms wiggle around flower bulbs and tunnel under trees. They twist and turn, eating almost anything in their way. These wiggling worms are at work. They go underground. We've seen lots of insects and mini bees go on top of the ground and fly in the sky. These ones are digging underneath. Farmers plough their fields to loosen the soil. Ever seen farmers with their tractor and their ploughs behind them? They're digging and loosening the soil. Worms do the same job. They twist and turn and push the soil aside. This makes lots of tunnels under the ground. It helps plants grow really well. It helps the plants grow better. The worms tunnel in the soil by swallowing it. They eat the soil as they go down. The worms don't have teeth. They have muscles, fine grains of sand and small stones to grind the soil. Sometimes worms crawl above the ground. They do come up sometimes, don't they? We've seen them. When they tunnel back down into the ground, they pull the dead leaves and plants down with them. These plants make the soil better. Seeds come down too. Some of these seeds send out roots. Just like we were learning about before, when the plants start to grow, they start under the ground, don't they, and then shoot up. The worms are helping the plants to grow. Worms can wiggle, twist, turn, and even tie themselves in knots. I think I remember seeing some of you find lots of worms tied up like that on the playground. A worm hasn't got any legs. It has bristles under each segment. Each part of it has got bristles. So they're not really legs, they're like the bristles on your toothbrush or a sweeping brush, just like that. Uh-oh. Here comes the robin, here comes the bird. A worm knows what's happening nearby. It feels the vibrations on the ground, it feels the ground shaking, senses a hungry robin. Quickly the worm slips back into its burrow. Hiding's the only way it can protect itself from enemies. That big robin is its enemy. Worms also hide from the sun. They've got to live in the damp soil. They've got to be where it's wet, since they breathe air through their moist skin. In the hot sun, their skins dry up and they can't breathe. So do you remember when we found worms on the hot pavement? We said, let's take it back to the soil so it can dig back down. There they go. Sometimes they do come up to the surface to find food. Worms eat at the entrance of their burrows. Vegetables and flowers grow better, trees grow bigger, grass grows greener, because there are thousands of wiggling worms at work. So we need these special worms to help everything to grow. They have a very important job. Just like the bees have their important job to spread the pollen around to help our plants to grow, the worms do their special job under the ground. Hope you enjoyed finding out more about worms. Maybe you will spot some out and about around your house as you're having a look around in your yard. Maybe when it's been a wet, rainy day, you can pop outside and see if you can find any. See if they're tied in knots, see if they're digging down, see if they're pulling any of those plants down into the ground. Okay, have fun. I'd love to see some of your Wiggly Worm game videos if you've had a try and played it. See you soon.